These three men, the only civilians in US history to successfully break into Area 51. What secrets were discovered in the exposed footage? Today's movie takes you inside the real Area 51. These men passed through layers of barriers and finally broke into the Area 51 base. Taking advantage of weak security late at night, they used their employee cards to open the first gate. It was the above-ground hangar of the S4 base, which contained only a few drones. By accepting their father's hand-drawn map, they arrived at the entrance to the underground base and managed to open the gate using their pre-prepared fingerprints and employee cards. On the first floor was an office area and guest rooms for rest. They had to go through the office area to reach the stairwell leading to the underground. Since there were still people in the office, they had to hide in a corner. Right on one wall, they found posters that resembled human experiments. Before they could study it, the staff cleaning the corridor suddenly passed by. They hurriedly followed the map to the stairwell. At that moment, someone suddenly came up from downstairs and they had to hide in a locker room. It contained not only biochemical suits, but also a torn bulletproof vest. They continued downstairs, which was a huge lab with not only strange liquids but also a 10-meter-high iron door, and it was unknown what was hidden inside. They have to continue down to the more central area to complete the shoot. Several people came to the entrance of the SE area and waited for the staff to open the door and get the random password. The security here is significantly tighter, with several doors with codes to pass through in one area. They had to use thermal imaging to locate 4 buttons containing temperatures and determine the order of the buttons based on the temperature. In this way, they managed to crack the code of the first door and made their way to a super material research and development lab. The major discovery here excited them so much that Blackie simply ignored the danger warning signs and touched the experimental materials at will, resulting in a levitating object rushing out of the container. A few people were terrified and rushed to escape. On his way out, Blackie took one more thing with him. Not long after they left, they finally found the thing they wanted to photograph the most on this trip: a UFO.
You think it's real?
I don't know, I gotta get a closer look. Holy shit.
I wonder how long they've had this here.
That's crazy.
Do you realize how many people would want to see
I'm
this?
filming this right now. Look at this. This is incredible.
A flying saucer that was all black, with a hard shell that could also change its shape according to the touch of the hand. Reed was so excited, even though he had a strong belief in the existence of UFOs. When they actually appeared in front of him, it was beyond his imagination. Reed climbed up to the top of the UFO and entered through a hole in the interior of the UFO. Just as he entered, that hole closed. There weren't that many sophisticated instruments inside the flying saucer, only a white object similar to a bathtub with a slender white seat in the center. After Reed sat on it, a magical scene appeared. The whole flying saucer turned transparent, and he could clearly see everything outside, but still no sound could be heard outside. Blackie and Jenna couldn't reach Reed and were still outside looking for the switch to open the hatch. The hole opened automatically when Reed got up, and he told Blackie to come down and experience it. Blackie said, "I've got all the shots, we should go." With that, they left and continued on to more mysterious places.